Hello everybody, Brickman here. Before you jump into the world of LEGO Star Wars, I want to share some facts and figures of what you're about to see. So let's talk LEGO Star Wars.
Welcome to LEGO Star Wars The Exhibition. As we jump to hyperspace, we have a few important announcements. Inside, you can build your own LEGO Star Wars creations and display them in the exhibition. Take as many photos and videos as you like and tag us for your chance to be featured on our social media channels. But leave the LEGO for the next visitors to enjoy.